Hey everybody, it's Martha with Sunset Travel Meals, bringing you another recipe that you can make from your kitchen. Tonight it's going to be comfort food. It's going to be chicken and dumplings. They are one of my specialties, and if you ever ate with us when we owned our food truck out at Winnie Trade Days, my chicken and dumplings were our #1 seller. So I'm just saying, they're really good. And if you make them, I'm going to give you a old school way to do it, and then I'm gonna give you a shortcut. So if you're short on time, or maybe after you get home from work, but you wanna make them real quick, you can do that also. Okay, what you start with is a large pot of water. And in your pot of water, I have mine already started here. We have chicken breast, salt, pepper, and an onion, and garlic. If you're gonna make your own broth like this with chicken, if you have peppercorns or standard pepper, either one will work. Peppercorns really just add a burst of flavor if you have that. Crush some real garlic. If you don't have real garlic powder will work. And then you just cover the chicken with water and bring it to a boil. This is how you make standard stock. If you don't have time to do that, you can purchase chicken stock. It will work just the same. I'll tell you, that's part of our shortcut method, I'll tell you that. Because it does take a little while to boil chicken. And so while our chicken is boiling, it's going to come to a boil, and we're going to give it time for the chicken to cook. Then we're going to take the chicken out and proceed with the broth. So right now, while that's happening, we're going to come on over and I'll show you how to make the dumplings. So, because we're not wasting any time here, right? Okay, our dumplings are very easy. Now, you probably heard people say they make their dumplings with just cutting up flour tortillas, or maybe they cut biscuits. That's a great shortcut way to do it also. They will not come out tasting like your grandma's dumplings if you do it like that. But this way, every time, guaranteed success. I'm going to start with 3 cups of regular flour. I made dumplings just the other day, so I'm almost to the bottom of my flour here, but 3 cups. That one was a little short. Okay. Again, that is a hit or miss. If you can, depending on how many you want to make. You want to make a double batch, you use 6 cups. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder. That helps your dumplings to rise a little bit. And then we're going to add salt. I got this cute little salt thing for Christmas. You know, do y'all ever watch the Salt Bae, the Turkish chef on YouTube? And he goes, look, I'm just like him, a little salt. Okay, and then we're going to add some pepper. Adding pepper into your dumplings, you can add it into the broth also. I did. I had salt and pepper both added to it, but you can also add into the dumplings, and it will make your dumplings just a little bit a little more flavor. Okay, now I'm going to make a little hole right in the middle of right in the middle of my little flour mixture, and I'm going to pour in plain old water. Doesn't matter if it's hot, doesn't matter if it's cold, and you just stir until you've made a sticky ball. And you just keep stirring until, and you could pour it all in at one time. If that happens, if you pour it all at one time and yours are getting a little runny, you just add more flour. Quick fix. You cannot mess up dumplings, okay? Can't mess up. So, let's see. Let's stir all of our flour around. Good workout for your arms also. It's forming a sticky ball. Can you see it forming? Okay. This is the hardest part of the dumplings right here. This is it. People act like it's a real big deal to make grandma's dumplings, but really, it's just a little bit of time, a little bit of energy. But I think I need just a little bit more water. And this part of the water, I'll have to add in real careful because I don't want to put too much water. Okay, let's see how our dumplings are looking. And I want you to be able to see the consistency that it's supposed to be, so that you make sure you know how to get yours to just the right sticky ball. See how it came together? Form a sticky ball. Now what I'm going to do now, it doesn't need to rise, it doesn't need to do anything. Your baking powder's in there doing its thing, and so it will help, it will keep it rising, and you don't have to worry about doing any setting up or anything. Sprinkle, I do mine on a cookie sheet. Brownie Green will tell you this is the secret to not getting this flour all over your kitchen. If you try to do it on your countertop or on a cutting board, it's going to get everywhere. But the cookie sheet contains all the mess. So my advice to you, do it inside the cookie sheet. Now, take a little bit of that flour and put it on your hands because you're fixing to play with this sticky ball. You like Play-Doh? This is the food for you. Okay, I'm going to put about half of this in here because if you get too much in here, then your dumplings get too thick. And when they're too thick, there's nothing you can do about it once you've made them too thick. Okay? I'm going to put a little bit more flour on top. Sorry about banging my jar around, but it's just almost at the bottom there. Now you can use a old school rolling pin. I have this pizza roller from Pampered Chef. Works great. And I'm just going to roll these out. Thin consistency, because whenever they hit the water, they're going to poof up, and you do not want them to be too thick. Thick dumplings are not good. But sometimes, you know, when you make them with the biscuits or the flour tortilla, you'll get a thick dumpling. And some people like it that way. So, you know, maybe you're that girl. Okay, let's see. Kind of. And I use a pizza cutter. And I just cut them in small squares. No, not great. Not straight lines. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then we're going to cut them again this way. The smaller you cut them, the smaller your dumplings are. You like big dumplings? Okay, okay. Now while we're waiting on that, we're going to come over and we're going to take our chicken out of the boiling water. I used breast, and so I'll need to shred my chicken and add it back in. Some of it did kind of disintegrate in there, that's okay. But if not, the secret here to this boiling water is the boiling part is what's going to make your dumplings. As soon as they hit that boiling water, they're going to be fat. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I am going to add a little bit of this chicken polo from Knorr's. It's the same thing as chicken bouillon in the cubes. It just adds a little bit of flavor to the chicken broth. Your chicken broth will be fine without it. So if you don't have it, or don't want to use it, or don't have regular chicken bouillon, it's fine. It's just a little bit of more chicken flavor. That's all. And how much ever pepper and garlic you put in is going to change the color of your broth. So if your broth comes out light colored, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay, right here where I was going to tell you about doing a shortcut. You don't want to take the time to boil the chicken and everything. Just heat up the chicken, store-bought chicken broth in a thing. Use a package of frozen. This is the diced ones. They're already cut up and everything. Then all you have to do is throw in the dumplings. So if you did it that way, heat up your broth and then bring it to a boil, just like mine is. And then as you put the dumplings in, let me get a little more flour on my fingers because I'm going to be touching them. And you're dropping them in the boiling water. I promise this is the key to perfect dumplings is the boiling water broth. Because if it's not brought to a boil and it's too cold, your dumplings won't poop up. Okay. And it's okay that they're touching in there. It's okay that they're going to be all over and on top of each other. Probably don't try not to drop them in the stove because then you're going to have flour everywhere. Okay. And so, I've had people ask me before when they've asked for my recipe, you don't have to add flour or anything like that because the flour that's on these dumplings is going to come off in the broth while they're cooking. Like right now when I dropped it in there, some of the flour came off. It's what thickens up the broth. And so you don't have to worry about adding cornstarch to make it thicker, or somebody told me they used cream of chicken soup. You don't have to do any of that. Just the dumpling flour will make it thick. And if you don't have the extra chicken bouillon or anything, it's okay too. They'll be just fine, I promise. Now, while I'm almost through putting these in, while they're going in, they're done. As soon as they hit that water, these dumplings are ready. And so this part of it is not time consuming. The only part of a dish that's time consuming is boiling the chicken in the broth. So again, if you don't have a lot of time, use the chicken broth, and the store-bought chicken will not have an effect on the taste of the dumplings at all. Okay, we're almost done. And this is based on how
no one asked me how many chickens breasts did I put in there. I put 3 because I'm cooking for me and Bradley and Luke, and so we need to feed 2 hungry men and me. And so I didn't put much chicken. And the same thing with the dumplings. You can put as many as you want in here. If you want to fill this pot, or if you want a bigger pot. Can you see how they're, these are completely cooked. Those are ready to go. Now I'm going to come back over to the chicken that I took out a while ago. Oh, it's hot. Drop that one down the stove. My stove cleaner will not be happy about that. But he is happy about getting dumplings, so maybe to make up for it. Okay. I'm kind of, people think that I work all day, I think, making dumplings when I make them, because everybody wants some of them when I cook them. But you can be the star, because it doesn't take long. It's not hard. Ow. Except this chicken's hot. It's right in my fingers. But, you know, again, you could do this earlier. You could do this part, you could do the broth and the chicken the day ahead. That would be fine, too. And do a day ahead, and then your chicken part's all done. And all you gotta do is the dumplings. I do have one thing about dumplings that will not hesitate to tell you. I do not like dumplings that are frozen. Like if there's any left over to put them in the freezer, I do not like that at all. Okay, guess what? Our chicken and dumplings are done. That's it. That's all you do. Let me wash off my hands, and we're going to scoop some in a bowl and let you see just how yummy they are. That's it, folks. Here it is, scooped up in the bowl, Grandma's chicken and dumplings. It's just that easy. If you like following along with our recipes, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll be sure to get them all, and hit the like button. We like to know that you're there and that you like them, that you're following along. The recipe will be in the comments. And again, this is Martha with Sunset Travel Meals. Till your next meal.